It makes sense that you're a woman of faith because the way in which you operate strikes me as very Christ-like. But here's the problem, is that being Jesus sucks.
Hello, is this the therapy gig?
Yes, hi, who is this?
Oh my goodness, I go by Priestess.
Priestess. What's going on, Priestess? How's life?
Well, life is amazing, but also, as it goes, there's always craziness going on.
You texted me and you said that my dad has become my basement dweller and the husband is pissed.
Yes. Essentially, unfortunately, my dad faced a situation where he lost his home, and in a 3-day notice, I ended up moving him into our house, and unfortunately, an unfinished basement, just because he had nowhere else to go. And the husband it's been 3 months, and he's really getting impatient as far as getting our space back. And we also have a roommate that we rent a room to, and 1 bathroom. So kind of a tricky situation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How long has he been there for, you said?
About 3 months. And where I'm struggling and why I jokingly, affectionately, I love my dad. There has been many, many years of he was my best friend. For a lot of it, I had divorced parents, and that always creates a tricky situation. There's been some good times, but there's also been some really low lows, especially between me and my dad. So it's been tough for me. My husband is definitely pissed, but it's been a little tough for me and sometimes triggering because, I guess I've forgiven him, my dad, for some things, and I sincerely do want to help him, but at the same time, I feel like some things aren't being respected. It's my space, so that there's that weird dynamic of trying to deal with that and wanting to help him, but also not, because he's kind of not, and I don't think he's really left even his house much for the last 10 years. And trying to tell somebody, because he was a caretaker for my grandma, and trying to tell somebody oh yeah, I know you're not used to just being in society and stuff much, but you gotta get a job and figure stuff out. I've tried helping him by helping him job search, trying to help him get medical stuff, trying to do things in a nice way, and that doesn't seem to help. So I'm kind of stuck in a tough place, because I understand it's got to be I just had a baby same time he moved in, pretty much our first, and it's I want to help, but also boundaries, and I got to put my husband and my baby first.
Mm-hmm. So what has he been doing that is disrespecting the boundaries?
Well, there was an instance of, some things are out of place or not done a certain way that the husband likes. And, I try to communicate it to the husband or to my father. And he kind of gets this attitude of oh, he can just talk to me himself, and he's being a bitch or something. I'm whoa, first of all, don't even say that. I want to kick him out right then when he says something like that. But,
Mm-hmm.
Or just some things in the past have come up. I just want to start off with the reason I give my dad shit and stuff is because he has built the foundation in me as a person to be a strong person and loving towards people and things. But on the other side, sometimes I suspect maybe he's got something not to diagnose or anything, but bipolar or something going on.
Yeah.
And because on the other side, when I was living with my grandma and him, it got so bad that I couldn't even be in my house because, I would be late from work, and he would suspect that I was hanging out with friends or a guy that he thought I was dating at the time, which was just a friend. I wasn't dating and wasn't. And so I'd come home to my shit torn up and being called, words. which it was pretty bad. It got like, that's the toxic part of, and so he'll like, where I feel disrespected is it came up once that he said, well, I had to do that to get you out of the house. And I'm like I had to be just like, okay, you need to leave my space because I'm about to go off on you, because that, like, you could just tell me to move out. You didn't need to do all that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so like, do you confront him about this stuff? Do you say like, hey, you can't be doing this shit. You gotta, if you're gonna stay with me, you gotta do X, Y, and Z?
Yes, I had to, well, I should say I try to, but I feel like I get talked at and interrupted. Like, I never get a chance to just sit down and actually say it, you know? Or like, maybe like, even when I do get moments of being able to say it, it's like I'm being listened to, like, of course he's going to be defensive. I mean, who wouldn't be when somebody's coming at you like that, to where it's not getting received, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So he's not receiving it at all, or he's like yelling at you.
Right. Exactly. And like, so I mean, I know what everyone's going to say. I know it's like, just kick him out sort of thing, but it's, I don't feel right about doing that.
I get it. No, I get it. I mean, I'm not gonna. Well, of course. Listen. Of course, it's easy to say just kick him out. Of course, it's easy to say it's just kick him out. But it's easy for me to say and for everyone else to say because it's not our fucking dad. You know, it's almost like well, if you're in an abusive relationship or something, why not just leave? You know, and it's like, well, there's so much like emotional quotient behind the logistics of it, and the emotions of it are a lot more murky. But to continue with logistics, I suppose. I mean, how old is your dad?
He just turned 55. Okay,
and does he work?
No.
Is he disabled?
Yes, actually, in some ways, not fully, but like, his back and neck are fused so bad that like he can't even turn his neck, sort of thing.
Okay.
And like his eyesight, like that's another thing of like diabetes is really bad and things are going on, but he's also, where it's making it hard is he's very much not wanting to go to doctors because he feels like he can't trust them. They just want to pump him full of drugs, which I agree with him to some points, but it gets to a point where like, oh, well, you didn't make the healthy choices you needed to prevent it from becoming worse, you know? And now you put yourself in the spot where it's either medicine or like literally lose some limbs, man. Like, and so, I mean, he is working towards getting possibly help with that stuff, but only because I really, really pushed it, or I have to like initiate it, you know?
Is he, do we know if he's eligible to receive any kind of government assistance? Like, is it that bad?
That's what we're looking into. I don't know. I mean, I think it is because, I mean, the man, like, he's at an 8 out of 10 pain all the time, you know? So, yeah, I'm looking into that, but I'm also, like, trying to look into jobs where it would be low impact, because it's not only just job for money and supporting yourself, but there's a mental aspect, too, you know, feeling accomplished, getting your confidence back and a purpose and being around people again.
Of course, yeah. I know. I guess the reason why I go to government stuff first is because it's like, what's your name again? I'm sorry, I fucking suck with names.
No worries, Priestess.
Well, because Priestess, here's the thing. You know, it's great that your dad has done so much for you, and you are clearly a really sweet, caring person, and your family is important to you. But also, like, you have your own life. Like, you just had a fucking kid. Is it your first kid?
Yes.
Like, you just had your first kid. You know what I mean? And I'm sure that's a pain in the... Like, you have your own life. You have your own things to tend to. And I I understand that you care a lot about your dad, and it's totally not as easy as just kick him out. But like, it's really fucking hard. But your dad has to be like, your dad's gotta at least like respect you. You know, he's got to at least give you something, because if he's just gonna like be the tyrant ruler of the house, like he just can't fucking do that. I mean, it's a disrespect to you. It's a disrespect to your fucking kid that he's taken away attention from, because you got to be there for your kid, but instead you're worrying about your dad. And you're a nice person, but also you have a finite amount of time and energy and whatever, and so you know, it's not easy, but at a certain point you got to be like, Dad, listen, you have to like you got to do something, or else you have to, like, there's got to be something, or else he's just gonna keep fucking walking all over you. And you know, for the sake of your kid and everything, he just can't let that happen. I know it's hard.
Yeah, it is hard, because there is also like the piece of, I do work from home, and like, you know, sometimes because I'm going for trying not to have to get childcare, because stuff's like $2,000 a month. It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
And we just can't, like, dealing with the mortgage and everything, really can't swing that. But you know, it's helpful sometimes, like, that he can watch her, like, and like the other piece of it is too, like I mentioned, my husband's pretty pissed, and I'm really trying to work.
Yeah, what's your husband's deal? You said he's pissed off. What's he have to say? What are his like solutions or thoughts?
Yeah, well, his solution is out on the street.
Mm-hmm.
But that it's not stemming necessarily from the like just being here. It's more so for him he's holding a lot onto some past stuff, because like while we were dating and stuff, I think there was a 2-year time I wasn't speaking to my dad, and during the time we were dating, I was trying to reconnect with my dad because my grandma had passed away, and like it was a lot of phone calls of me on the phone getting screamed at, and then like like crying for an hour afterward, and my husband was the one that had to be the one holding me together.
Yeah. So your husband watched you. Your husband watched you attempt to get back. Your husband watched you attempt to rebuild your relationship with your dad, and he watched your dad scream at you and make you cry.
Yeah. So he holds a lot of that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And then, which understandably, I love him for that. I really do. And I was like, oh, can you try to please forgive him for that? Because I understand you're not wrong in feeling that way. But you got to understand if somebody is not functioning from a healthy place. And at the time, I took that stuff because, you know, like he was very much my father in the mind frame of like, I don't even want to live this life anymore. So for me, it felt like a battle of just fighting for his life, you know, which doesn't make it okay. I didn't deserve it. I recognize all that. But, you know, I've been a shitty person in times of my life, and sometimes it just takes people being there in your low lows, you know?
Mm-hmm. But and I get that, right? But also at a certain point, it's like, it's very kind of you again to offer your dad this forgiveness, but but he has to, like, he's got to do something to, like,
right,
could continue to be in your life, you know? Because if he's not, he's got to hold up. You're struggling so hard. You're like you're giving so much, priestess. Like, you're just giving so much. And if he's giving, and he can't just give you nothing. He can't just give you nothing and then blame it on whatever he's going to blame it on. He just can't. He can't give you nothing. That's why your husband hates him, is because he's watching you. Because if your dad If your dad was in like my name is Earl mode or whatever, and he's brought you a fucking fruit basket, and he's like, "Hey, I'm sorry. I know I was a dick in the past, and I really want to get back into the good graces of you and your family. I want to be there with my grandson. I want to be there with your husband, and I want to do this and that. And I thank you thanking you every fucking day for letting letting him live in your house." And being like, I have a plan, then, because that's why your husband's having a hard time forgiving him, is because he's not because he's your dad's like not. From what you're telling me, your dad's not even asking for forgiveness. He's just continuing. You know what I mean? So it's like, how can you even give forgiveness that he's not even asking for? And by the way, this all sucks. I'm really sorry to hear that. There's no great, amazing advice or solution that doesn't make any of this suck a lot and be really hard. But at a certain point, you got to figure out where your limits are, you know. And I don't know if that means throwing him out on the street necessarily, but you know, something. I mean, what's out there? Right, like is he eligible for government assistance? And you're like, well, I want him to have a job and have all this, you know, actually kind of get back himself out there. And well, he has to want to fucking do that, you know. And if he wants to, he has to want to do that. He has to want to improve his life. Right. And you can't make him want to improve his life. And you also can't. And also, you got to be there for yourself and your kid and you got to be there for your life, and you only have we only have enough energy for like so much, you know, and your energy, I don't think it can continue to expand outside of your own life at this point. And I know that's really hard, but I hope it gives you something to think about, at least.
It does. I appreciate it. I try to operate humbly as a person, and like I don't stay in the mind frame of I'm giving so much. I mean, I am a person of faith, so for me it's like, well, it's not mine to begin with. But I guess it helps. You're making me realize, like, especially the energy spending, because it's true. Like, a lot of my joy and things were robbed in the process of being pregnant and stuff, just because I was worried about him becoming homeless. And
you said it wasn't yours to begin with. Is that like I've been endowed by God with all that I am, and it was never mine to begin with?
Yeah, in the sense of like for me, I grew up in poverty with my divorced parents, and I tried some college because there was a program where like your last 2 years of high school you can go into college early, and I just didn't know exactly what I was wanting to do with my life. I was going to family law, but there was a little bit of passion there because of what I dealt with growing up. But yeah, I just kind of fell off and just went out, lived my life. And unfortunately, I had a really bad accident at my work where I basically fell head first, at least 10 feet, and like woke up, I don't remember anything. I couldn't even be in a room with lights or sound, or like, I'm lucky I didn't die. And so, like, I used to be an incredibly high functioning person. Like now I really struggle with a lot of things, like just shopping at the store or what have you. But like, despite my struggles, I still have work, because like I could have probably gone disability, but I didn't want to. Like I rather, if I can offer something, I wanted to be able to support myself and not be limited in any ways possible. And thankfully I have a very wonderful workplace that allows that and flexibility for me. And despite my shortcomings, I somehow have made it into a pretty good position and like found the love of my life, my husband, and my house was a whole miracle in itself, how that was obtained, because by no means with what we make should we have any business being homeowners. But, you know, it all fell in place in ways where I'm just like, I personally have experience where I know God is true to where, like spiritual experiences, and it's just like that's where I'm operating from. Is I'm just like, this, none of what I have I obtained myself. You know, I've been blessed.
Sure. I understand what you mean by it. I understand what you mean when you say that nothing that you have you achieved on your. I understand where you draw that conclusion, and I feel that way. That's a very, because I've lost myself in a lot of like deterministic things, in that of like, so I don't know why I am the way I am, and like a very like existential shit that gets you to that point of like feeling like everything you had was not yours. I'm gonna say this: it makes sense that you're a woman of faith, because the way in which you operate strikes me as very Christ-like. But here's the problem: is that being Jesus sucks. I mean, being Jesus sucks ass. I mean, he has to carry a giant thing for 1,000 miles, and then they nail him to the cross, and he just sits there and dies for, for what, Well, I don't know the full. I've never read the Bible, but I do know that being Jesus sucks. And I just want you to know something. It's noble. The way you operate your life, it's really noble. You give a lot for your family and for the world, but just so you don't have to be Jesus. Let me be. I think in the last there's some fucking movie my dad told me about. I've never seen it, and it's like The Last Temptation of Christ or something like that. Jesus he's hanging on the cross, and a little girl comes up to him and like takes him down. That little girl, I think in the movie, turns out to be the devil or whatever. But pretending like that didn't happen. Okay, forgetting about that part. Okay. Let me be the devil in this canary and say, hey, and that's what your husband's trying to do. He's trying to be the devil, the good devil. You get what I mean? I'm losing you on this, but okay. And he's trying to. Your husband. You're trying to be Jesus right now, and your husband is like trying to take you off the cross and be like, hey, you don't have to be Jesus. You can go back to Nazareth, and we can have a life and hang out with our kid. You don't have to be the Savior. You don't have to be the Messiah for your father. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I'll echo the sentiment of your husband and say it's very nice of you that you're trying to be Jesus, but you really don't have to be Jesus. And for the sake of yourself and the sake of your baby, you don't have to be Jesus. You can just be priestess. You just be yourself, be with your family. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes complete sense, and I guess that's why I messaged you too, because like I understand that, and I'm just trying to figure out how. And I know you don't have the answers. I guess I was just trying to talk and have a soundboard, another opinion other than people that are directly involved, because it's emotional for them.
I'm sure. I'm sure it's very emotional for you too. I mean, yeah.
I appreciate the sentiment. I'm not a prude, so you mentioning like it didn't like close off my ears. By saying the devil thing. I appreciate your time, and I appreciate you remembered my name, because usually you don't.
Well, yeah, priestess. That's a good. Is that your real name, or is that like a fake name?
It's a gamer tag I went by like in my childhood.
I'm trying to think if I have anything else. I don't know if I have like logistical ways in my head of how you could move forward that aren't tough, but I'll leave it with that you don't have to set yourself on fire to keep everyone else warm, all that stuff. Is there anything else you want to say to the people of the computer before we go, Priestess?
Yeah. I guess I would just say that no matter what dark room you feel like you're in, and you feel shut and scared, and you don't know if you can keep going on, that just keep that hope alive, because for every mountain there's a valley and a peak, and things can become beautiful. So.
Thank you, Priestess. Have a good rest of your night.
You too. Thank you, Geck.
That was Priestess. Dude, I think a lot about the Last Temptation of Christ. I'm going to talk about it real quick. And I swear on my life, I'm not a Christian. I'm not a Christian at all. I'm not. I'm just like, I like this story because it's interesting. Because that's all this shit is. There's nothing like, it's not about like belief. It's just like, these are just allegories of things. But like, I don't know. I was talking to my dad, and I was telling him I was having like a hard time doing something. And he was telling me about the Last Temptation of Christ, and he was like, "Yeah, fucking. So Jesus is going to go die for our sins. So they nail him to a cross, and oh, okay, yeah, all right. So Jesus is the Messiah. I swear, this is not this is just an interesting story. Jesus is the Messiah." Okay, so imagine someone says to you, all right, you're the Messiah, and you have to fucking die for all of our sins. You'd be like, I don't want to do that. It sucks. But you're like, okay, all right. And then they nail you to a cross, and you're sitting there dying. And you're like, this sucks. I don't want to do this. I do not want to be the Messiah. I don't want to sit on this fucking cross and die. And then a little girl comes up to Jesus, and she takes him off the cross, and she like heals his wounds, and then like takes him back to Nazareth, and he gets married, and he has a kid, and he lives a happy, normal life. And then later he finds out that little girl was the devil trying to convince him to not be the Messiah. And then Jesus like runs up to this hill, and he starts trying to talk to God, and he's begging God to go back in time to be the Messiah, because he realizes that he really actually wanted to be the Messiah. I think what the story is trying to tell you is some shit like, when my dad was telling it to me, we're all Jewish. I don't know why we're talking about this stuff, but when my dad was telling it to me, it's like, okay, you're doing this hard thing that you really don't want to do, and you cannot do it, but later you might go back up to the hill and beg God, I actually do want to be the Messiah. Now, I was dating this woman at the time, and I told her this, and she was like, that is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. Like, why would you do a thing? Why would you, like, live life in pain just so that you can say you did? And she was right, too. So those are like the two different sides of that coin on that story, depending on who you are. Is like, do you suffer immensely for, I guess, nobility, or whatever the fucking thing is that you feel like you're suffering for? Or do you realize that suffering is pointless and just like go live and enjoy life? I don't think that has a lot to do with this woman's story, but I don't know. It's interesting. I think about it sometimes. Jesus Christ. Crazy guy. Hello?
Oh, hi. Is this the Gecko?
Yes. Hi. Who is this?
This is Ada.
Ada. What's up, Ada? Where are you calling from?
Czech Republic.
Oh, the Czech Republic. What, Prague?
Yes. Yes, exactly.
Sweet. I went there a long time ago, and I ate a lot of churros.
Churros? Really?
Yeah,
It's not really a Czech thing.
Well, I don't know if they're churros, but they're like sweet cinnamon cake things.
Oh, sardonic.
Yeah.
Like the one that's like a big cone or something like
Yeah,
round.
the big cone.
Yeah, it's
ones.
actually Hungarian, but we claimed it as Czech.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's all the same
But it's
place,
good.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
To an American, everywhere outside of America is it's just not America, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's okay.
No, I'm kidding. I think I'm kidding. What's your name again?
Really?
You said your name, but I forgot it.
Ada, you can call me Aiden.
Ada, you texted me and you said, I fell in love with a homeless man and he stole my suitcase. That was the second homeless man that I have been with.
Yeah. That happened, yeah. Well, I spent some time working in Switzerland this summer, and I was pretty lonely in there because I actually don't speak German, so and I didn't know anybody there, so I was just like pretty miserable, and I was like walking on the street, and well, I was outside, and I wanted to go back to my hotel where I also worked. But then I realized, like, I missed the last train home, and my phone was dead. And I was on this, like, tram station. And, like, there were, like, some creepy old men trying to, like, you know, they were like, I'm going to give you a ride home, blah, blah, blah. And I was feeling, like, you know, in danger, and the only other person on that stop was a homeless man sleeping on the ground, who was like a young guy my age. I'm 20, and to be honest, he was really fucking beautiful. So I was like, this is my best bet. I'm just gonna go up to him and be like, can I sit next to you? I'm scared. And he was like, yeah. And I fucking spent the night on the street next to him, and I did that again for the next like 5 days because I really liked him. And at some point I let him move in to my hotel room, and I just lived there with him for some time.
This was the first time?
No, this is the second time.
Oh, okay. And you were living in a hotel room at the time?
Yes.
Fuck. Did I miss a part of the story that explains why you were living in the hotel room?
Oh, yeah. Well, I worked as a hotel receptionist there, so I kind of just lived at the hotel where I worked.
Okay. Did you have, like, a family in the same city?
No, I was there completely alone, so, yeah.
And how long did your relationship last with the guy that you met at the train station?
Well, he lived with me for about a month, and then I was just like, then I just fucking left and went back to Czech Republic because it was all a bit too much. He was an addict, and me too, so it was a very, like, toxic, dangerous relationship.
I'm curious why you slept on the street with him for 5 days instead of just going back to your hotel room?
Well, I don't know. The first day I had no way to get home, but then I just really liked spending time with him.
Mm-hmm.
So I just, like, kept coming back and always ended up just, like, sleeping there next to him.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's fucking crazy, but the thing is, I have BPD, and sometimes I just, like, fall in this, like, fucking involuntary, like, obsession with someone who, like, I barely know. and like my main life goal becomes just like getting lost from that person, and that's exactly what happened. So I just kind of went against all logic when I was there.
And tell me about those 5 days. Were they like enjoyable for you?
Well, it was hard. Of course, it's not like pleasurable to sleep on the ground on a tram station. But on the other hand, I was next to him and I was feeling, I was feeling all the feelings you feel when you're cuddling with a person you like. And like I was in a really bad mental state back there, so I was just like glad to be there with him. And I felt bad for him because he was my age and already homeless. So I don't know. Yeah, it was. There was some good and some bad in it.
And so you said he stole your suitcase.
Yeah. Well, so after a while, when I let him live with me, so sometimes he would just like go out to like get his drugs and like beg for money. And because I didn't want him to like walk around the hotel where I lived with like a pile of like blankets and stuff that he would take, so I just let him borrow my suitcase so that like it would be less suspicious. And then I told him by the end, like, I'm gonna leave this day, and I told him which time my train is leaving. So, but the day before, he left with the suitcase and didn't come back until the train came, so I had no place to put my stuff. So I had to stay one more night, buy a new suitcase, which was like super expensive because it's Switzerland. And actually, I didn't get to say bye to him, but he still had like all of his stuff, like his personal items at the hotel. So I had to like take all of his stuff and leave it somewhere. And then I texted his plug, whose phone number I had because he used my phone, and I told him where I left the stuff. Yeah, so he has my suitcase probably until now. If he's alive, I don't know.
So you haven't had any contact with him?
No, because like, how do you contact a homeless man in a different country, really?
That's true.
Yeah.
So how long ago was all this?
That was this summer.
Oh, okay. And how are you doing now?
I'm gonna start like a day program now, like where I'm gonna be Monday to Friday, doing like group therapy sessions and stuff and getting sober. And then I'm just gonna sleep at home, and hopefully that works. I'm gonna be there like 4 to 6 months. And like literally like after I came back from this trip and this whole thing happened, I was like, this is the last straw. I'm gonna get sober now and fucking stop doing this crazy shit.
Who was the first? So this was not the first time that something like this even happened.
Well, kind of, yeah. The first time was not that serious, but the first time was last year. I was in Lisbon on a solo trip, and I just bought like a pre-roll joint, and I was like, I'm not gonna smoke this alone. So I was just like walking around the streets of Lisbon, and there was this guy sitting like in front of some grocery store on the ground, like big beard, messy like rasta hair, and a cup in front of him and chest, and like very crazy clothes. And I was like, that's my dude. This is the one I'm gonna like smoke weed with. Um, Actually, he was not really homeless. It was more complicated. He didn't have a job. He just kind of like somehow fucked over the system, and they gave him a free shitty old apartment. He didn't have to work, and he just sat on the street and played chess with people.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I did come back one more time to meet him there. It was a thing, but it was just like a few days with him. But this second time was a bit more serious, I'd say.
So, what do you, I guess, desire for your life after getting sober?
Well, I'm not really sure. There's more options in there for me. I'm thinking about, well, I don't have a high school diploma because of the drug addiction, I had to drop out of high school like 1 month before the end. So I was thinking either I'm gonna try to, finish that because that would kind of be nice, but also it's scary. Or I would like to, well, I have an offer from my friend in Spain to come live with him, and I've been learning Spanish for some time. So that's like my plan B, just fucking move to Spain. Because for me, like, Czech Republic is just not the place I want to stay forever. It's the weather here, it's not like ideal for me. I get like seasonal depression, and the winters here get really hard for me.
Mm-hmm. Do you still feel like you have this thing of like getting really obsessed with people?
Well, I haven't had it with anybody since I came back, but I went back to therapy as soon as I got back. I mean, I've been in therapy since 14, but I had a little break, and since I came back, I've been there, and I haven't had this problem happen again. And I think this time I could just like notice it in the beginning, hopefully, and not let it get too much in my head.
Do you have a lot of like you were talking about your family and shit, like do you have like a support system? Do you have like friends and family helping you out with shit?
Yeah, I do. I mean, with my family it's a bit complicated, but they're still here. It's just not ideal sometimes. And I do have some pretty good friends. The only problem is like I don't think I have any sober friends, and that's what I'm working on right now, like trying to get some friends that like I can hang out with sober.
And are these like when you say like sober friends, is it like stuff, is it harder stuff than like just like weed and alcohol?
Well, no, I used to have, well, now I have friends who mostly just smoke weed or drink. I kind of got away from that like group of people who did hard drugs already. I managed to get those people out of my life, but still, yeah, like most of my friends smoke a lot of weed, and I found myself addicted to weed too. So I need to like, find people to hang out with who will not smoke weed around me.
Okay. What about so what's going on with your friend in Spain? How do you know them?
So Last year on New Year's, I was at my best friend's house, and she was with a few people, and one of them invited this um, girl, and she brought this guy from Spain there, just like through a friend for a friend. He was visiting Czech Republic, and we started talking, and we got like we vibed with each other. So the next time I went to Spain, because this year I traveled a lot, I gave myself a promise to like every second month go on a trip outside of my country. So next time I went to Spain, I hit him up and we kind of became very close. Um, I already went there a few times to see him and his friends, and we do call like every day. We kind of became like really close friends. Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. I think it's a good idea to find friends who are sober.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you'll be able to do it.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I did the first step like yesterday by well, there's this like uh center like sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it. Buddhistic center in my city,
Mm-hmm.
and so I decided to go there and try to maybe start going there for like some meditation and meet the other people who go there. And they were like super nice to me, um, talked to me for an hour, and I'm feeling like, yeah, maybe this is a place I can find some new friends with like a more positive mentality.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking that I assumed that in these like sober groups and whatnot that you'd be able to find some good friends.
Yeah, I'm going to like once a week. I'm going to like something like kind of like in the movies when there's like the AA meetings. This is something similar. They call it like the motivational meetings, and I go there one time a week. But usually I like don't want to get to know the people, and they advise us not to make relationships with the people there because
Really?
yeah, because like in this group it's kind of like some people are still using, some people are not, and it's not really it could end badly if like you met at a group and you just it could mean just relapsing together. I don't know.
Interesting, because I that's interesting. They tell you not to form friendships because I feel like the whole point of the group is that you're supposed to form relationships with people.
So in this one where I go to, this one is like public, and they do not like make the rule of being sober. So in this one, they do not advise it. However, when I will start going to like the day program, they do put a lot of like importance on like the relationships between the people going there, because you get tested, and like you're working really like hard towards sobriety, and it's going to be more safe because you have to be sober in order to be in this program.
Do you have any hobbies of any kind that will get you out and about and around people?
Oh yeah, I paint a lot and draw, and I also like to write. So yeah, these things.
Mm-hmm. Are there any groups for any of that stuff that you might be able to join in anywhere in Europe, I suppose?
Maybe, probably there's something like that. Yeah, I mean, I do have a lot of like artistic people around me in my life. But probably there are some kind of groups like this. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing your story with us, Ada.
Yes. Thank you for letting me.
Of course. I guess, is there anything else that you wanted to get out of this phone call, or anything at all that you want to say before we go? I wanted to give you the opportunity to speak whatever piece you have left.
Yeah, I want to tell people, like, don't do fucking drugs. It's gonna ruin your life. And I don't know, have a nice day.
Perfect. Thank you, Ada. Good luck.
Thank you.
Bye, Ada.
Bye-bye.
That was Ada. That was an interesting story. I'm wishing her good luck on the sobriety journey. I know that's hard. 5 days hanging out with this beautiful homeless guy. I don't know why that sounded like that sounded romantic. That was like in my head I was picturing it's like the Richard Linklater film or something like that.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Oh my gosh. How are you, Geck?
I'm good. What's your name?
Maria.
Maria.
You can call me Maria.
Maria, is it okay if I read what you texted me?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right, you sure?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, you texted me, these are your words. You said, hey, Geck, I want to talk to you about being a veteran slut bag and getting chlamydia 4 times. I also need relationship advice.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Chlamydia is not that bad, though. You just take a pill.
Yeah, chlamydia is not that bad, especially if you have health insurance. But I think just being a woman and like the stigma around it, it can be pretty difficult depending on who gave it to you or if you gave it to somebody else. So
okay. So where do you want to start?
Well, I guess we can talk about being a veteran slut bag.
Okay. What does that mean to you?
So basically, while I was in undergrad, I'm currently 24. While I was in undergrad, I was just going through a really hard time, and it pretty much bordered on like sex addiction almost, but not like, I don't know. Like, yeah, it was debilitating, but I also just had a lot of other things going on, a lot of mental health issues, but we're past that now. So yeah, I went to a party school. So I think that kind of like created some influence.
I mean, did you have fun? Did you enjoy the time?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
I had a great time.
Okay. I mean, I think I've talked about this before, but look, obviously it's a thing you can get addicted to, for sure. I've been addicted. I've had time, especially when I was in college, fucking, addicted to the apps and, addicted to, gooning and all this kind of crap. But, it's one of our, like, the only true, like, the only, like, default meaning of life that we have is to survive and have sex. Everything else is like we're adding on to it, but that's what we're born with: is don't die and reproduce.
Yeah, that's very true. Because like even growing up, like my primary doctor was like, and this is like a pediatric doctor. She was like, sexual desire is a very normal thing, and I like was so weirded out by it. But I don't know. I was a pretty sheltered kid growing up, so the moment I was on my own and independent, it was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Nobody can tell me no.
Right. It's a weird, I find it so weird that I don't know how we evolved like this, like societally, that one of our 2 primary, like, innate goals is like taboo. It's like it's weird. Like eating and surviving, that one is, you know, people love talking about food and eating. But like you could if you're like if you had a food blog, right? And you were like, look at all this food that I'm eating and all the nutrients I'm getting from it so I can continue to survive. People would be like, oh, that's cool. But if you started a blog of like, you know, I'm having sex with all these guys, people would be like, what is this? But it's like they're the same. It's just you enacting the biological goals that we're endowed with. It's weird. They're like on the same level, but they're treated so differently. It's weird.
Well, if you think about it too, like it's a double standard because, like, from a woman's perspective, I mean, it's 2025, and there's the whole concept of female empowerment and equality, and there's a different attitude when women have a higher like body count. I hate that phrase, but and like it's not okay. But when men do, it's like, you're the man. Like there's just no problem with that.
Yeah, I feel like that comes from one. I think that comes from like people just being like jealous and angry. And then that's the main thing I think that comes from. It's just like, again, guys being jealous and angry. Or just whatever this like general cultural thing we have, even beyond the world of sex, of just like people wanting to like judge what other people do with their lives. I mean, where do you think that comes from?
Like judging other people's like sexuality. I think that just comes from like how you grew up, to be honest. Because like, I don't know, I have a psych major and I'm currently in nursing school, so like we learn a lot about, you know, Erikson's theory of development, and obviously Freud is a big one too. But that nature versus nurture argument, I think initially, I mean, at least for me growing up, it was never really talked about, and I was pretty shielded from a lot of things. But I think depending on if you make the decision to, you know, leave the nest and go to school, and then you're kind of faced with other people's attitudes. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Wait,
Sorry,
so
I'm like in shock right now because I'm like been trying to call you and I'm like, oh my God, please. And then I saw your number come up and I'm like, gasp.
So you said you had a sheltered life. Like what did that look like?
My parents were just very strict with me. I wasn't allowed to like go to any parties in high school. Drinking, like I wasn't allowed to do that. Like maybe I would have a glass of wine at dinner, but that was very few and far between. I had Life 360 on my phone throughout high school as well.
What is Life 360?
You know, like Find My iPhone.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's like Find My iPhone, but on steroids.
Oh, okay. So your parents were like tracking your location at all times.
Yeah. And I don't know, we didn't really talk about like sex or consent or like, I don't know, having boundaries. Like I wasn't allowed to have my door closed or anything like that. You never had any kind of fucking privacy. No, my phone would be downstairs like at 7:00 at night.
So you couldn't even jack off.
No.
That's crazy.
I think the first time I did that, I was like, I don't know, like 19, which is like horrifying, but
yeah, that's crazy.
Not horrifying bad, but like horrifying weird.
Do you have a good relationship with your parents?
Somewhat. I mean, it's very complicated because I have a sister who's a lot older than me. So like I spent a lot of time growing up like watching how she navigated their relationship. So I kind of learned like what to do and what not to do. But
how did your sister end up?
Oh, she like moved away,
Mhm.
like a few hours away. So,
Mhm.
but she's doing really good now. I mean, she has her master's. She has a really good job. She's currently dating. So, I would say she's pretty happy.
So what is your life like? And what is this relationship advice that you are in need of? I don't know if I'm that good at I don't know if I'm that good at relationship advice, but I'll try.
Yeah. No, it's okay. I'm just grateful to even be having this conversation with you. I'm sorry, what did you ask?
You texted me and you said I needed relationship advice.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like I have really bad anxiety and PTSD and depression.
Okay.
And ADHD as well.
Okay.
Just like a whole, like, I don't know, you know, the guy with the trench coat and he's like trying to sell you things out of the trench coat and he's like, this is everything I got. What do you want?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
That's me.
Okay. That's to do with mental illnesses.
Yeah. So there's this guy and we've been kind of like talking on and off.
Mm-hmm.
But he has a very traumatic attachment to this girl that he used to date. And he's like telling me that he wants to take it slow and be friends and all this stuff.
Uh-huh.
And we hang out sometimes and it's great. And I have a lot of feelings for him. And he knows that. And I've been trying to be like open and honest, but also not intense, which with having such bad anxiety like I do, like I'm always seeking that reassurance and like I just never know how to take it slow. And he wants to be sexual and I'm like trying to slow that part of myself down and just kind of like redirect my own behavior, not give into it. So like I just don't know if I should create some distance for him to heal and give him that time, or if I should like not abandon shit, but like give it a break. But he says that he really enjoys my company and like he says all these nice things. So
wait, can I interrupt you for a second?
Yeah.
Who is whistling in the background behind you?
Oh, I have a bird.
Oh, you have a bird?
Yeah.
I thought that was like a guy.
No. No. I have a cockatiel.
Okay, he's like whistling like a human being. That's uncanny.
Yeah. He likes to sing "If You're Happy and You Know It." He says, "What the fuck?"
Hey, he can talk?
Kind of. It's not like talking. Like, you know, like with bigger parrots, like you can actually make out complete sentences that they're making. Like he understands his phonics, I guess.
He really sounds like a real human being that's whistling in the background. Okay, anyway. All right, this guy, I mean, look, this guy told you got to believe him when he tells you these things, right? I mean, this guy, he says he just wants to be friends. You two are clearly not on the same level of investment, or not on the same level of investment. You guys are on like different planets of investment. You're on like opposites. And also you haven't even known this guy for that long, have you?
I mean, we've known each other for, I want to say like 7 years.
Oh shit. Okay. Have you like been in love with him
for 7 years? And there's a lot of proximity and like overlap with our friend groups.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I've like witnessed him through different relationships and like I've heard things and I'm like, damn, this man been through the fucking ringer. But
okay.
I'm not trying to like fix him or anything either.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that this stuff should be easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if there seems like there's too much, there seems like to be too much distance between you guys in terms of what you actually are desiring. And it's not like this is a guy that you've known him for a while, but it's not like he's been your boyfriend for, 7 years and, You want to try to work things out. So, yeah, I would probably do an audit to see if this relationship is causing more of a benefit or more of a strife to you, and then act upon that information.
I think there's definitely like some benefit because I don't know. I kind of take everything that I encounter as a lesson. I mean, I've been through years of therapy, so I think the good thing about it is like I'm learning how to slow down, but there's like that one part of me that's like, dude, let's get a move on. Let's go. It's not that deep, but
yeah, but you can't. Yeah, but he's not. He doesn't want. You can't make him give that to you. You know, and he doesn't sound like he wants. No. He sounds like he wants to just like chill.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Where'd you get a bird?
I got him from a mom and pop shop. He's 2 years old. I've had him since he was hatched. Now he's freaking out. But yeah, he's just a little baby.
What's your life like outside of this after you graduated from school?
So I graduated with my bachelor's in psychology. I am a nursing student in an accelerated program, and I also work at a law firm. So I'm all over the place.
That's pretty good. All right, you got a good life. Don't get too distracted from it. That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to say to the people of the computer before we go? I'm sorry, I cut you off. You're about to say something.
No, it's okay. All I would say is wrap it before you tap it, and be kind to everybody because you don't know what they're going through.
Rock and roll. What's your name again?
Maria.
Maria. Thanks for calling, Maria.
Have a good day, Geck.
Therapy Geckos on the line, taking your phone calls every night. Therapy Geckos doing it right, teaching you how to live your life. But he's not